Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Band Trading Cards. And we have a guest today, and he's the creator of a Canadian trading card game, and it's called Spells of Magic. It is in Kickstarter right now. The initial goal was to raise 15,000 Canadian dollars. Spells of Magic is total funding 248,760 Canadian dollars as of right now, and with 291 backers. The Kickstarter will end on March 2. So let's welcome Christian Weaver. Hi, Christian. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Ben?
I'm good. I'm good. I can see that you have a sweater. So I think you're in Canada,
I am
right?
in Canada. Yeah, it's a little chilly out. We got the window open right now because it's a little
You're
warm.
where are you in Canada?
I'm in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Oh, nice. That's a nice place.
Thank
So
you.
I visited the river with like chocolate colored river.
Oh
You know
yes,
that?
the
What's the name?
Petticodiac River.
Ah, yeah,
Petticodiac River.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I visited that one and it's very cool.
chocolate
Oh
covered
yeah.
for sure.
So so yeah, my viewers wanted to know more about spells of magic, and that's why I need to ask you some questions that might help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before you created these games and when you were young, what are the games that you're playing? What
So
kinds?
I basically played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. I played a lot of Pokemon too. Around like 12, I kind of got into Magic.
Hmm.
I also played Vanguard, but the main kind of influences on me were Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. I used to film Yu-Gi-Oh live action series when I was a kid. I seriously like it's such a nostalgic thing to me, and that's kind of like where we kind of got the influence of like, oh, I want to make my own card game too. I want to make something that people are going to grow up on, and in the future they'll be like, oh, you remember Spells of Magic when we were kids? Yeah. Oh, let's check it out now. And then 10
Hmm.
years later it's like, advanced, and it's I want to create that nostalgia that I had as a
Hmm.
kid
Yeah.
for this whole new generation that's going to grow up on card games.
Uh-huh. So during that time, did you decide to create your own,
Yeah, I did.
or
So I
have
want
you designed something?
so I want to say around like I don't even know, like I think I was 9 or 10 or something like that. My dad shredded my Pokemon cards on my birthday.
Hmm.
And I was like, no, my life's over. He's like, don't worry, you can make your own card game. And I
Oh,
just like,
nice.
what? And then he gives me this like stack of um what are they called? The business cards, just complete blanks and a sketchbook. And he's like, make your own card game and then don't make anything satanic or something like that. So I made my own card game, and a
Hmm.
lot of the stuff you see today, like Cancel Hexplate, some of the dragons, God Dragon, all of those are inspirations from like back when I first made the game,
Hmm.
all like that many years ago. So
So,
it's yeah.
so did you call it Spells of Magic that time, or there's a
No, no.
different game?
I had a horrible name for it. Keep in mind, I was like 9 or 10. It was called Animal Mon, and it was
Or you should call it Animon.
that's what my dad told me. He's like, it
Yeah.
sounds stupid, and I was like, you sound stupid.
Your dad is cool,
Yeah, yeah,
Come
he's
here, create a game.
yeah. All it took was destroying my childhood with cards, but
But I
here
guess
we are now,
your dad
right?
is a player as well, no?
No, no,
No. Okay.
he doesn't play card games or nothing like that. He just kind of wanted me to embrace my creative side. And here we are. The game is here.
So did you create a story as well? Lore, something?
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
back then, that's when I kind of designed Utashi, the main character. And the game was a lot different how I envisioned it back then. There were these little things called trilogues. And the game was heavily inspired on Pokemon back then. So
Uh-huh.
what trilogues were is these basically a Pokeball, but it's a triangle. And it would kind of the outline of it would kind of show up like what they looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like the whole goal. And then I was like, like if I ever made this, like I'd probably get in trouble probably
Oh.
shouldn't do that. So then I kind of, I started getting more into Yu-Gi-Oh because my parents were separated at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I lived mainly with my mother, and she was like, you can play Yu-Gi-Oh, like whatever, I don't care. Like, you're a kid, like
Mm-hmm.
do kid things. And that's what I did. So I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and then kind of over the years I started developing more of a darker theme to it. And I was like, well, like Yu-Gi-Oh did it, I guess Vanguard was kind of just coming out at that point too. And I realized, okay, you are allowed to make a card game show. So I designed like a whole story, like completely changed everything. And I came up with spells of magic there. And we had our kind of our three characters,
Mm-hmm.
the side characters. And that's kind of like what the manga is, the manga right now. It's loosely based off that story. And we kind of just, as we got older, we kind of developed more characters. The more shows you watch, the more influences kind of come into it, and they put a play on it to kind of twist your mind into wanting to do different things.
Mm-hmm. And I can see this is my first time to see lamps in a lamps and pond and dragons. Dragons is common in the trading card game, but
It
lamps.
is.
Can you tell us more about the those dragons, lamps, ponds, and others? Can you
Sure.
explain that to us? Yeah.
So the lamp was my first kind of like realism piece. Looking back on it, it's not really realism,
Mm-hmm.
but like back then, I just started kind of digital art because it's very expensive. I don't know if you've ever bought digital art, but it's not cheap to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I had a friend, and I wanted them to do art for me, but they're like, yeah, $200 a piece, and I was like,
Man.
$200 a piece, I could do it. So I went out, I bought my tablet, bought everything, and the lamp was kind of the first piece I did. And I realized how hard digital art and art in general is to do.
Yeah.
So I did a few more pieces. I got more into kind of tattooing and stuff like that. So that's
Ah.
kind of like where I kind of start, like my drawing kind of like sprung out into a bunch of different things. But yeah, the lamp, I really kind of I liked just the theme of like everything's kind of dark, and then there's this one thing kind of radiating the only light source. So I was like, what a cooler way to do like a lantern kind of in like a stormy night. And that's
Mm-hmm.
that's what we did, and that's what I drew. And I really liked it. I thought it was kind of really sweet.
Yeah. And
um,
we're gonna talk about that once we go into the gameplay.
cool.
Yeah, and how about Dragon's Pond? Is this like a setup, a setting of a place? Where is the setting? Like a forest or field?
Sure. So the land is called Zorbera.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's funny. You're one of the first interviews I've done where somebody actually wants to go into the background of like the
Yeah,
cards. So this is really cool. Really, it's going to be really fun for me.
because for me, I want to know the
Yeah,
story, the history of that, and I want to
100%.
picture myself in that place where they exist, something like that.
Absolutely,
If like
absolutely.
Avatar, you can see Avatar in a different planet, something
Yep,
like that.
yep.
So
A hundred
yeah.
percent the
Hmm.
theme, right? Yeah,
Yes.
so there's a land called Zorbera. It's an alternate dimension to where we would live here. And that is where all the elder dragons, the tribal dragons, you've got Zephos, the one of fire, Brynus
Hmm.
of water, and they go all the way into every element you can think of. And they're all the masters of the element, and every creature that is of their element was a spawnling of them. So like
Hmm.
Zephos, you've got cards like Flame Warrior, Flame Sorcerer. Well, they're like kind of direct spawnlings of Zephos. They'll always kind of have an effect that's similar to Zephos, but never as powerful as him. Um, and it goes all the way to every single dragon, and they're kind of in this big plane, and you've got like a hellish kind of plane, and that would be,
Hmm.
the land of fire. You'd have kind of the
Ah.
sea, right, of
Yep.
Atlantis. That would be where the water creatures would kind of live.
Yep.
And all of them would, they would bow to the dragons.
Hmm.
And we've got, we do have humans there. And some of the humans kind of have powers. We could say similar to kind of like a planeswalkery kind of thing in Magic. And we've got the antagonist. His name is Alistair,
Hmm.
and he's basically an evil sorcerer. And he doesn't respect the tribal dragons, but he's got a brother, and his brother's name is not spoiled. We'll call him the Nameless Wizard. He's the same guy on Spellcaster's Pardon. The same guy in Spellcaster's Demise. He's just, really, really generic looking wizard. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the guy that named all the tribal dragons. So he's kind of on the tribal dragon side. So he gave Zephos and all these tribal dragons their names, but he doesn't have a name himself. And his brother, Alistair, kind of like hates it because, all the tribal dragons like him, he doesn't respect them. So it kind of, I don't want to spoil too much, but like it
Yeah,
kind of
it's
invokes this
okay.
huge war. And we kind of see that taking place on all the cards as the sets go on. So yeah.
Okay, so that means the dragons are the main creatures here.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
when you play the game, who are you there? What's your role?
Your role.
Are you the
So
wizard or
no,
something?
so your role is actually different. So how the manga is played out is it's 8,000 years after the huge war, okay? And you're just a regular guy with a regular deck, okay? And you've got these, these like spells and magic cards, right? And you're wondering, you're like, it's kind of weird. Like every time we play our cards, creatures like actually show up. Well, what's happening? It's kind of like a Ouija board, but not really. The play mats that they play on kind of recreate the war. So if you have Zephos versus Diablos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at one point in history, Zephos and Diablos they fought, and it kind of pulls them from their plane and recreates that kind of piece of history. And the players don't really understand it. It's just kind of a game to them. They're not really, they're just kind of playing it. And we kind of go more into that when we start to see some of the people from Zorbera start
Mm-hmm.
to kind of resurrect themselves. Like we may see Alistair again.
Mm-hmm.
And I would read the manga so far. I would kind of read into that, and then that'll kind of it starts slow, but it's all about the setup.
Uh-huh. So I guess you gotta create a book
Yeah, it's
of
free to
this, yeah?
read. It's free right
Uh-huh.
now on
Oh, nice.
Webtoons. We're getting the first 3 chapters kind of redone by a different artist to kind of get it to fit more of I wanted to kind of have a tight Kubo kind of vibe to it. I don't know if you've ever watched Bleach or anything like that.
No.
I kind of like that old school manga vibe to it, the old
Uh-huh.
school kind of thing. I kind of want to get it changed. So we have a new well, not a new artist, but somebody who's going to be taking the role and redoing it and probably doing it in color too. That way we can
Oh,
see a lot more.
that's good. And then so among of all of your cards right there, so what will be like the chase cards? So I assume that they are the dragons, right?
So some of
No?
the dragons are chase cards, but there's going to be over 50 tribal dragons to collect.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, as the sets go on, there will be about a tribal dragon every set. But the main chase card, let me pull them up here. It's going to be Tilong. He is basically one of the best tribal dragons because what he allows you to do is send another tribal dragon from your soul deck to the graveyard, and all the tribal dragons can just summon themselves back from the graveyard and then re-trigger their effects. So they're very powerful. They're very big, very
So it's like
strong.
a necromancer.
It's a necromancing deck. They have an
Mm-hmm.
ability called reanimate. So what it does is you pay 2 of your life. They enter back to the field from the grave at a slower speed, and then when they would die
Mm.
again, they would just get exiled, so they wouldn't be able to come back a second time.
Ah, okay, of course.
So yeah, they're
They're gonna be
they're yeah,
powerful, you know.
they're very strong. So T
uh,
Long is really good. This card right here, this is Transmutation Circle Greed.
mm-hmm.
Uh, and basically you get to draw 3 cards off of it. And if anybody plays card games, they know draw power is the best
Yep.
kind of power.
Yes.
So yeah, they're the main 2 cards. And then you have Lamp of the Stormy Night. We recently spoiled how many are in the entire Kickstarter run, which is 18 foil mythic rares. The card does not come the card only comes foil. So there's
Mm.
18 of them, and then there's 2 manga rares of it.
Okay.
And a manga rare is basically an alternate template for the card. And it just basically is from our story, just kind of like a little cool higher rarity upgrade of cards.
Okay. So what are the? Oh, sorry. The rarities, like some other TCGs have common, uncommon, and super
Yep,
rare. So please give us the breakdown of those rarities, because you've
sure.
mentioned
Yeah.
the dragon, and what was that? The transportation or teleport?
Transmutation
Oh yeah,
circle green.
yeah.
Yeah, the alchemy
Okay.
circles.
Can
So
you
yeah,
explain?
yeah. So we've got three rarities in the game. Well, four. We've got common, we've got rare, and mythic. And
Mm.
all of those can come foil or non-foil, kind of similar to how Magic does their sets. And then we've got the last rarity, manga rare. And
Uh,
basically it's just the alternate template, full foil. And you only get one of them per case
so
in,
it's
in
like
manga rare.
legendary something.
Highest rarity, you buy 12 boxes, you'll maybe get one.
Is it for the finishing or the type of the card itself?
It's basically just a template change. It's just a holographic
Ah, okay.
card. So like you can get it in like Xephos has two rarities. One sec. I think Monica might have a different one in here that I can show you. That way we can kind of compare it.
Yeah.
Monica, where's your Xephos? The regular one. Should be in here. Yep, found it. Okay, cool. So this is kind of the difference. I'll try and. So the only difference is kind of this one only comes foil, and this one is just a standard non-foil mythic rare. Same card, same effect, nothing's different.
Same mechanics. Okay.
Everything is the exact same in it. The only difference is one of them you'll maybe get like 5 or 10 in a case. This one you're only going to get one, and it's not guaranteed because there's 101 different manga rares, because every card has the potential to become manga rare. So you could do a master set and
Correct.
get all of them. But I mean, with the prices that they're selling at, good luck.
So that means you are also you have different kinds of templates for each
Yeah.
type of, and then the finishing. That's good. And then please give us like a timeline. I want to know the timeline of the expansion sets. Have you prepared for that for the
Yeah.
next few years?
Yeah, so we're starting our beta testing again for the second set in May. So that's kind of like when we're preparing for it. The Kickstarter run, I'm really hoping to get them in June. That's what my distributor said would be very possible. I mean, Kickstarter says October. That's our kind of safety net, right?
Yes.
In reality, the latest would be August. And then right after that, our first edition would come out. But Kickstarter comes out first because you guys supported us, right? You guys deserve to be the first to get the product. So you guys get your product, then our distributor starts, they get their product. And then I want to do probably like between probably 5 months, I want to release our next set. I don't want it to be too long, and I don't want it to be too early. And the reason is because I don't want the game to get stale for people. And people are just bored of, 2 starter decks in the main set. I want to expand, right? Like I've got over 5 years worth of sets ready to come out into this game. Again, it's like over 11 years of development. So I've got files and files of just mechanics and everything.
But you have a roadmap in a website. Do you have a website for Special Magic?
We have a calendar. The website's in development right now.
Uh-huh.
We do have a Kickstarter calendar, but like a roadmap for like after the Kickstarter,
Yeah.
it's not set in stone.
Okay, yeah.
Our calendar is kind of the best thing because it's kind of tells you what's happening after, like finalize artworks, get the print run, but we're actually way ahead of schedule. So everything that's on the calendar, we're like a month to 2 months early right now, which is actually crazy. But after the Kickstarter, we kind of have to sit down, reevaluate. I have to meet with my distributors to make sure that quick print runs can be done efficiently and correctly. Because I wouldn't want any miscuts. I wouldn't want, people getting the wrong product, people missing cards. So that's why we're going to meet them in April to kind of make sure everything's good, and basically kind of see what's possible. How long would it take to print, set to how much notice, all that stuff. So yeah, roadmap, we'll probably have it closer to, I want to say the summer. Everything will be on the website as well.
Yeah, because some of the TCGs have their timeline. They put like what's the next expansions for the next until like Maiden Zoo. If you know Maiden Zoo, they
Mhm.
have until 2027. So the expansions, but now they change Ouija expansion to a different name. What was that? Science. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like science, something like that, or science probably. Yeah, so they have like, because most of my viewers are some are most of our investors. They want to invest, and some are players, collectors as well,
Yeah, definitely.
and they want to know the long term goal of the creator. So that's why
Yeah.
I want to show them as well. And if you know Genesis, the Canadian,
Yep. Oh yeah.
yeah, Genesis. So Genesis have until 3 years of names. They have already the names of
Names of
each
the sets
one.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that. So are they just putting names?
yeah, just the
Oh.
names. Yeah, they
And
have
a,
Origins, Invasions, and War. Just yeah, there's until
yeah.
2023.
Okay.
Yeah,
And like all of our sets follow the manga. So if like a character plays a deck in the manga, well then that character's deck is either going to be in the next set or
mm,
it's going to be in the starter sets or the starter
yeah,
decks. So it's relatively easy to follow, but I think it's probably smart for us to wait till after we meet with our
yes,
manufacturer. That way, I'm not like, oh, it'll come out here, and then it's like, well, it could
correct.
come out here instead. Right? I hate giving false hope.
And it makes sense because you're still in the Kickstarter
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
stage, so you don't know if you will be fully back, right? So, but it's
Well,
now
yeah.
fully funded. It's
Well, I
fully
mean, yeah,
funded.
let's hope it stays.
Yeah, yeah, it will be stay there on the,
Oh, for
because
sure.
some people are backing out when it ends, right? So we don't
Yeah,
know. We're
we've
still
got a little,
on
we've
the
got a
lever.
plan. Yeah, we've got a plan for the last day.
Yeah. Okay. So there are different kinds of TCGs on the Kickstarter, and I have seen in some other Facebook they have sponsored ads, and then I think I can count them at around 30 plus. Okay.
Okay.
So how does Spell of Magic stand
Standout,
out
like,
of the 30? How can
oh,
you?
sure.
What's your plan, or
Well,
what's the unique feature of Spells of Magic that you know, it can stand
sure.
out of the 30? Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a little background on me first. I'm a huge card game player. I
Hmm.
know a lot of these Kickstarters that come out, a lot of them don't even play the card games. They don't even, we've seen one that just came out and they're like, oh, well, we don't even, have a game built yet.
Mm.
Not going to say
Yes.
the name or nothing, but
Yeah, I've seen
our
it.
game has been designed. Like our game has been ready since 2017. That's when this set came out and was fully tested. Like there's nothing people can pick this up and find an infinite loop. I promise there's no way that this set can be broken. And I
Mm.
think that's super cool because it makes it so people are going to be able to sit down and have an enjoyable game no matter what deck they want to play. um we've got insane collectability. We've got god packs now. What else we have god packs, we have full arts for Patreon. We've got insane manga rares. We got box toppers now. We're trying to hit all of those points for players and collectors to be able to come in and say, well, they check all of these boxes, maybe I should grab a box to kind of see how it is.
Hmm.
We do use like a little bit of ads, like we use Instagram ads. We did YouTube for a little, but YouTube's ads, it was very random and sporadic. Facebook's ads too, where we share a name with a website, a witchcraft website. We were getting a lot of people come in thinking we were like wizards who could cast love spells for them in our Facebook messages. So, we're kind of sticking with Instagram for ads. But I think the number one thing that stands Spells and Magic out is the longevity of it with
Mm.
the manga, the cards, the history. With the folder I sent you, you can see the entire history from when I was drawing on business cards to when
Hmm.
I did my first kind of digital run. It's all in there.
Okay. Nice. All right. So yeah, we gonna and also we can see it on the gameplay itself, right? There
Yeah,
may be some
definitely.
unique mechanics there. So we're gonna have a gameplay probably in a separate video because it's gonna be a long interview here. So I saw printed cards already on Discord. You're showing it. Where do you plan to print the Kickstarter products and future sets?
So Kickstarter products, I can't give you the name of like the company printing it,
Yeah,
but it is all printed in Canada.
nice.
It's in Ontario. It's a huge facility. They've done other Kickstarter TCGs, and I believe that they're in talks with Cryptic right now with Tanner.
Mm.
Amazing company. It's the quality of the cards I believe is 320 GSM Black Core, which is like the absolute highest you can get for a TCG.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of them that come out on just like standard art paper, and the cards are all scratched and they're like not as good, don't pass the bend test. These are, they're not going to Pringle like some of the new TCGs that come out, and the cards are
Yeah,
already, they're going to be perfectly flat, heat or cold,
it's
anything.
ready to eat.
Exactly. You just got to put a little salt on
Oh
them
yeah.
and they're ready to go.
Yeah, I you know what? I tested I'm not sure if you watched my video. I tested different kinds of cards and put it outside of our house with the cold -18.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
so and
that.
then you can see
Yeah,
the
you get to see
pringling
them.
pringling effect. Something.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it will be in Canada, which is good. Because you're Canadian, it makes sense.
I am, yeah.
It
It's a
makes sense
lot
that
more
you print
it
your own, of course, right?
it's a lot more expensive than what we originally planned, because we originally had a Chinese manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
But we were really worried about our product getting stolen
Mm-hmm.
overseas and just being sold to, on the
Yeah.
down low to other people, because we seen, with all of the Alibaba kind of companies,
Yep.
whenever they send you examples of what they could do, it's never a card game they've made. It's always somebody else's. And that's the scary
Ah.
thing.
Yeah, the samples are from a different TCG. Yeah.
Exactly. And they're always, mock ups and
And also
knockoffs.
the shipment is, it takes a lot of time. Then also the cost of
Well, the
shipping.
time frame was really good for what I was
Mm,
getting when I was
okay.
getting my original run. It was about like 30 to 60 days of a print run, which is like insane. It's usually
Yeah,
like 4 months for a
that's
print run.
fast.
And the shipping was kind of the nail in the coffin for me, because it was over 22,000 US dollars to get it shipped, which
Oh,
is just, I really didn't want to pay that and kind of risk,
yeah.
our backers' money with that. So we decided to go, you know, it caught it tripled our cost, but it's a company we can trust, and the card stock quality is way better. We can fly directly down and meet with
Yeah.
these guys. I can sign the cards as they're going into the pack, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we can just kind of see everything
You
kind
can
of
do
get
your own
done.
quality control.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm not going to micromanage them or go over there. Oh, this needs to do this,
Oh, just
But
batches. Just get samples and then check. Then,
yeah, we are doing a Spells Magic documentary on. It should probably be released in May, of kind of how the cards are made, how we did it, and that's another good reason why we're going down there to kind of film the whole process and meet with the guy. And it's going to
mhm.
be really fun, man. I'm really excited for this.
All right. So if the Kickstarter is finished, are you going to focus 100% of this game?
I've already quit my job.
Because of this game. Wow.
Yeah, Monica also quit as well.
Nice.
Nikki also left his job. We're all in on this, man. Like I
Nice.
I had a really good job security. I'm a TSA officer at the
Mm.
airport, and I would rather come here and bring the best trading card game I can bring to you guys than take somebody's bottle of water away.
That's cool because some TCG creators have their day job, and then they just do it part time. But for
No,
you,
no
it's
way.
already
No way. This
100%.
is
Really
I'm
cool.
in, man. I'm in. I think the first 3 weeks, once we once we first launched our Patreon and we see the amount of support,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I can quit my job and
Mm-hmm.
I can put all of my time on this. And that's just what we've been doing.
Nice. Okay, so the Kickstarter will be released on, you said October. Okay, let's say it's October. And do you plan for tournaments?
Yeah, yeah. So we just did our Spells Magic Grand Championship, but we do plan on doing cash tournaments. So our first one's going to be in Moncton,
Mm-hmm.
because hometown, right? And
Yeah.
then our next one's going to be in Toronto, and I believe we're
Oh,
doing
nice.
Montreal. We're gonna hit bigger cities, obviously, because more people are gonna be willing to travel to bigger cities than smaller cities. And then after that, we're gonna take our little break, our little winter break. So we'll probably not have anything for the month of December.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of mid-January, we're doing our states kind of tour,
Nice.
which is going
Okay.
to be, Vegas, New
Yeah.
York,
And
just Cali, all the big places.
I think US will be open that time, I hope.
I hope. I really do hope.
Nice. Okay, so we can see tournaments in around November, December, October, November, December, right?
Yeah, so those are just the big tournaments. We plan on
Mm-hmm.
also doing LGS kind of tournaments, and we'll be supporting the LGS.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a tournament system, which is kind of neat. I don't know if you've heard about it, but basically players will play. If you and
Mm-hmm.
I play each other, you beat me. Well, on the system, you'll have 3 points under your name as a player. And
Uh-huh.
then you beat your next opponent, you'll have another 3 points. Let's say you go
Yeah.
undefeated 3 rounds. You have 9 points. Well, that 9 points will be held under your name and your player ID. And then at the end of the season, there'll be a list of cards on the website that you'll be able to apply through your LGS to be able to get those cards by trading your points in. So if there's a card for 1,500 points, you can trade that in, get that card mailed to your LGS, and then you get it.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to prevent it from being abused is probably what you're wondering. We're locking stores into only being able to host one tournament a week. If
Mm-hmm.
they have a bigger player base, then we'll allow them to do two, but that store will be monitored to make sure that it's not like 5 people in a tournament. They're just farming points.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
So that's kind of our way around it, right?
Yeah. Because maybe they could just add add
Yeah,
whatever number they want there.
exactly. And it's not a perfect system, but it's something
Yeah,
that will
of
be
course.
perfected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you about the team. So do you
Sure.
have full-time artists now?
Yeah, so we've got in the server we have Nate right now. Nate is our manga artist. He's been doing the covers. He just drew the artwork for Lady of the Lamp.
Mm.
And he is going to be full-time Spells of Magic doing the manga once we open up our office, hopefully in April. And then we've got Marcelo. Marcelo's been full-time with me for the last I've been with him for like 7 years. And he's got an apprentice right now that is basically doing the exact same style as him, which is hyper realism. And yeah, they're full-time all Spells of Magic. And it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. So aside from the full-time artist, do you have what is your structure like
Sure.
the team? Yeah.
So
Right.
we've got me, the founder. We've got Monica. Monica, she is the lead for marketing. We've got Zach.
Mhm.
He's for digital marketing, so getting us brand deals, all that stuff. We've got Nikki. Nikki's kind of my second in command. Basically, he doesn't do all the grunt work, but he does, all like the weird stuff that I won't have time to do.
Mhm.
Whether it's putting stuff in certain folders, getting all the cards ready, so and so. And then we've got Brandon. He's the head of R&D. And he's got his own team under him that basically they're the guys that make this game playable for you guys. I make the cards really broken. I send it off to Brandon.
Mhm.
Brandon fixes it, and then the beta testers perfect it.
Nice.
That's kind of the circle of it.
So Brandon is heading the beta
Yeah, so
testers.
he's chief R&D. Yeah.
Nice. And then have you contacted distributors in other countries other than, or maybe you do you have any distributor in Canada now? Like
Yeah, so we
top?
have we have a exclusive deal with Prince Distribution right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good, and they're constantly helping with Kickstarter. TCGs. We kind of stayed away from Universal and Lions for now.
Mm-hmm.
They're really big, and we kind of wanted a distributor to kind of focus with us and help us grow with them.
Yeah.
Where some of the big guys, you're just another sale to them. Prince really made us feel like we were part of them. We also have a partnership coming up with Channel Fireball
Nice.
for the
Okay.
States, and Prince is also going to distribute in the States as well. We are looking into Australia, Japan, and the UK right now. It's just really, really expensive and really tough to be able to find a distributor in there that'll house our product and
Mm-hmm.
take it in kind of as we're going with it. But there will be distributors for them hopefully this summer, because we want the whole world to have Spells of Magic at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want my UK community to kind of get shafted out because we're not able to get a distributor, right? So whether it's us directly selling to LGSs in UK, or us finding a distributor out there, we'll figure it out.
So is it you have difficulty in finding a distributor there, or is just there are certain rules that you can't go in?
It's more or less like getting the responses back from like the Japanese distributors, right? It's I don't know, like the whole like it's I don't know, it's weird. Like the Japanese ones don't reply. We've got some replies from a couple of the UK ones. We don't want to jump into anything.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have the legal team review contracts.
Yes.
And you never want to jump into it. So we are kind of browsing our options for it. But as for Japan, they just don't answer. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they have some regulations that you need to follow.
Yeah.
And
It's a lot going on in the
UK, did
world.
you mention UK?
Yeah, UK, Australia.
Australia, yeah, Southeast Asia.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, for Australia, there is a company that we may choose. And the UK, we're kind of flip-flopping between a few right now. But we should have a decision by the summer on exactly what we want to go with. There's a lot of weird stuff with conversions, right? How products being paid for. It's like a direct payment. So it's like a little weird with UK currency into Canadian.
Yeah,
You almost have to have a middleman. It's different. It's
correct.
a lot of
So,
stuff we're not used to that we're jumping into here.
hmm then in US you have the distributor of
Yeah.
Channel Fireball, or
Yep.
is Channel Fireball a distributor or just like treated as like a local game store?
So they're a little bit of both. They're huge. They're a
Mm-hmm.
lot bigger than I thought.
Nice.
But we also have Prince. Will be distributing in the US as well. And if we feel they're not exclusive for US either, if we feel like we need another distributor, then we'll get one from the US. The US is probably the easiest one because there's so many stores and there's so many distributors in the US.
Okay, so that means you're still open for distributorship, no exclusive
Not for the
distributorship,
US,
right?
yeah. Only for Canada.
Okay. So it will be like the model will be from distributors and then goes to the LGS, and Prince will be distributing as well with Channel Fireball, and it will go to the LGS, and LGS goes to the retail, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's
exactly.
the okay.
So I don't
And
even think we're gonna have the distributor product. It's just gonna go from manufacturer to them.
okay. And
Yeah.
this is what I question as well with the TCG creators, that would it be possible for content creators to be a retailer of your product?
If you have like a TCG player store or something like that, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Nice. Like what they are doing with Rudy, right? For Magic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they some Rudy is a content creator and then as well as a retailer
Yeah,
with his
yeah,
videos.
definitely.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of both, yeah.
Okay. So you're open with that. Okay.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
all right. So you have Discord about 300 plus members right now, and they're
Yeah.
engaging. Yeah. And then aside from Discord, do you have any other communities like
We have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. There's a Facebook group, I believe it's just called Spells Magic TCG.
mm-hmm.
It's not as active, but if you can scroll through and you can see like actual our entire beta testing run from 2017 on there, just the photos and just all the stuff. But that's kind of like our only other community. Everything else is just social media platforms. I think Discord is excellent for, a massive chat. You could have so much things in Discord right now.
And easy giveaways.
Exactly,
Nice.
exactly.
All right, so please invite the viewers to the Kickstarter and the other products you have.
Pardon?
Oh, please invite the viewers for the Kickstarter and other products that you have or channels as well.
Yeah, come on in. We've got, so much in our Discord. We've got a YouTube channel, um, Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. We're like very highly active on them. We've got Twitter. We're starting a TikTok actually
Wow.
to kind of like film, the
Yeah.
foil cards
And
too.
Christian is
So
dancing there.
I'm
I
dancing,
know.
doing the Fortnite dances. Yeah, the
Nice. Okay.
flossing or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've got so many social medias, guys. Like, you guys won't be bored. You're scrolling
Nice.
Facebook, you're gonna see Spells Magic, Instagram, whatever. We're gonna be in your face right there.
All right. So, all right. Thank you so much, Christian, for your time. And I gotta put all the links that you've mentioned in the description down
Thank you so
here.
much.
Then don't forget to support Spells of Magic on Kickstarter and join the community. And I can see Christian is always there, 100%
Always.
of the time. I think you don't sleep anymore.
I
So,
don't know what sleep is.
so yeah. And thanks everyone for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye,
Thanks,
Christian. Bye,
guys.
guys.
See you later.
Bye.